Welcome to the How-To section for Google Maps and Jux. Here we are going to learn the basic steps that will help us in creating our very own Google Map and our very own digital story using the Jux software program. Our objectives will be to create and save a simple map that includes 5 locations which have been place marked and have a short description of the locations themselves. Secondly, the patron will be able to create a photo map using Google Maps that will include a minimum of 5 location place marks. And thirdly, we'll be able to create a digital story using Jux as a storytelling web application. Our assessments, given a list of basic locations that can be work, home, your favorite restaurant or vacation spot, will be to create a map with place marks on at least 5 locations that also include descriptions. Secondly, will be to place mark photos that coincide with his or her favorite locales. And thirdly, will be to create the digital story within Jux and provide a brief summary of each picture. Be sure to use images from Google Maps as the inspiration. Before we begin with the how-to section of this presentation, I'd like to show you some examples of student work. Here are a list of some of the things that we've been working on in the library. As you can see, we have been compiling a class list of students' homes or favorite places, and we have been adding these into the map. But for a finished product, we're going to go into an example that we showed you previously in our introduction to Google Maps and Jux. And here's a nation divided presentation. And keep in mind that this presentation has been, or this particular assignment was geared for students from grades 5 and 6. But with a little work, lessons for Google Maps can be adjusted down to as low as kindergarten and then go all the way up into the college level. In this case, our 5th grade student completed an assignment on the American Civil War. He titled the assignment A Nation Divided. This map has been created by the student to show that the areas being discussed, and then we'll go on over into the Jux assignment and show you as well here in just a moment. As you can see on our map, we have place marks in various locations throughout the United States. And these place marks have been given summaries, and if you click on each individual place mark over here on the left-hand side of the screen, you will be given the summary that goes along with each individual place mark. And as we scroll down our list and we click on individual locations, you'll see that the pop-up box and the summary will click up on your screen, as you can see here. Now if you want to scroll in, you can always move over and with your mouse and either scroll in on the location, and it will bring you up with what's going on in the area today, as you can see here. Now before we move on to Jux to show the finished product there, let's move up to, and I will show you just some of the images that go along with the product that our student has completed here. We go back over, if you remember in our training, we'll go over and we'll click on Google Map, or we can go back to Satellite. Then we're going to click on Photo. As you can see, the photographs from various locations, they start popping up. What we're going to do is we're going to key in right here on this individual place mark that our student has made, and we're going to start zooming in to that place mark. And as we get closer, you will see images start to pop up. And here's a classic example of what happens when the student was creating this project. And then this will go along with future lessons that I will have in my library. As you can tell, the student has placed their place mark here, which is up in the ocean. And what has happened is the student has not zoomed in properly on the map. This is a simple fix, and this is something that in future lessons we'll be able to key in on in the library. But for our case now, you can see, and I want to show you a particular image. We click on that image. Now we're going to have this pop up, or we can click on the view in the panorama view, and it will give us a much better picture to choose from. And here's this picture. Now moving on from our Google Maps product, we're going to see an example of a Jux completed assignment. Now remember that this Jux assignment goes along with the Google Maps piece that we just looked at. This is the same student's work, still titled A Nation Divided. In this case, our students decided for purposes of keeping up with his work to title both pieces the same. We click here and we'll see the image that we previously looked at in Google Maps, and here is the summary that also went along with the place marks that we saw in Google Maps. The student here gives us just some general information. This was a research product, and provides just a brief rundown of each image that we're going to see. Here we have an image of where the first shots were fired at Fort Sumter in South Carolina. He's also given us a title here. Simply stated, it begins. As we move through the slides, we're going to see that our student has worked through Google Maps. All of these images did come from Google Maps. The student has chosen Stonewall Jackson for his second slide in the Battle of First Manassas, or First Bull Run. Again, we have the summary. Here we have some statistical information from the Battle of Antietam, and a really nice picture of what the battleground looks like today. Here we have just a simple sign from the Battle of Vicksburg, and which is a battle where Ulysses S. Grant happens to be this student's someone that he was very interested in. Here we have headstones from Gettysburg. Again, the student, and he has chosen, if you notice each slide, that the images are going to be moved around, as well as where the summary boxes are located. Here we have Sherman's March to the Sea. Here we have just a basic image, happens to be a wax statues of the surrender by Robert E. Lee and General Grant at Appomattox. Here we have what happens to be a Civil War museum. This also was the final major battle of the Civil War. And here we have a peaceful end, and this student has went very in depth in his research and found where the actual last holdout commander in the Confederate Army surrendered. Here we have some numbers that the student went and looked up for us. This gives us general information about the death toll of the Civil War, and then he gave us a really good summarization and some thoughts, insight into how the Civil War changed our country. Okay, now that we have seen a finished product from a student standpoint, maybe we have a little better understanding of some of the uses that Google Maps and Jux has. In order to get started, we're going to go ahead and log in and sign in at google.com. Now, I'm going to go ahead and click sign in. If you are not a Gmail member, it would be very beneficial to become one. It's simple to do. You simply type in your first name, last name, a username, and your password. Click create account, and then you will be a member. And it's very important if you're going to be using this in the classroom, or if you're a student, because you get to save your own maps, and you get to go in and do editing, and you can share those with your friends as well. Once you are signed in to Google, you will have you'll see over here that it has my picture and it's got my name. You're going to have access just like normal, but we're going to go ahead and make sure once you're logged in, you simply click Maps. Now this is going to bring you to the Google Maps page. I'm going to go ahead and click My Places. This is how we get started. And as you can see here from earlier, here is a list of my already created maps, but for our purposes, we're going to simply click Create Map. Now here you have the option of typing in a title, and for our purposes, we're going to type in My First Map, and then you have the option of typing in a description of that map. For now, we're going to leave this blank, and here is something that's very important. Make sure that you check this. If you want your map to be public, if it's something you're not worried about everyone in the world seeing, you can leave it there. but in our case we're going to click unlisted. If you're going to do anything involving students, or if you are a student, you need to click unlisted. That way that only the people you want to see it can see it. I'm going to go ahead and click save. That way we don't lose anything, and we are now ready to get started. Here are your tools. Now let's go ahead and you can see this little hide panel button. This will minimize this your screen, give you more access to work. If you simply hold your mouse button and move it around, you can see that you move the world around. You can zoom in or you can zoom out, and gives you different views. Let's go ahead and bring our pane button back up, and we're going to type in. Here's your search button. And for simple search, we're going to start out with our home address. All you got to do is type in your home address. You can either click enter or click the little search button. Once you've got your address in, you're going to see that it pops up. Now, I've worked in Google Maps so much that I have this set as my home address, and this is something very important before we go forward. As you can see, this is Street View. Street View is an excellent tool. We're not going to do it right now, but you can click on Street View, and wherever the Google Map truck, they actually have vehicles that drives through, you will be able to see detailed images. And we'll get to that in just a moment. But as you can tell in this case, and this shows some of the limitations of Google Maps. These pictures were taken around 5 years ago. It brings up my address is here when in fact my home is all the way over here. To make that simple, we're going to click on this, and this is one of your key tools. This is your place mark. We're going to bring this over and drop it right there. Here you have the options. If you click to rich text and click on this little balloon, you will have the option of adding an image. If you're not interested in adding an image, you simply click the title. I'm going to type in home, and you can add a description if you want. For this purpose, we're going to leave this blank. Click OK, and as you can see, it has my place mark here, and it has it listed here. Now I'm going to give you guys a moment, if you've not already done so, to type in your address and add a place mark. And once you have that, let's go ahead and type in our work address. So we'll type in our school address. Click enter. It's going to bring up the address to the school, and as you can tell, this time it gets us very close to the school building. What we're going to do though is click a place mark. I'm going to drop it right on top of the school. I'm going to go again. We have our pop-up box. I'm going to click work. Click OK. Now you can see our list is starting to grow. If you click home, it takes us back to home. If you click work, it takes us back to work. Now what I would like for you to do now is add one more address to this. Put in your place mark. It can be another person's home. It can be your favorite restaurant. It could be a place that you would love to go on vacation. Okay, now that we have our short list made, I'm going to show you how to use the photo section of Google Maps, which was very important as we move on over into Jux. If you go over to this box over in the right hand corner, you're going to see a list of things you can click on, but for today's purposes we're just going to work on with photos. When you click photo, as you can see, it's going to change your box over on the left hand side. Now you can click on individuals. It's going to pop up images just has that tag word, whether it be animals, architecture. According to where your location is going to do, that's going to be the effect on the number of photos you have. As you can see here, we really don't have any photos, but as we start to pan out, we move back, you're going to start to see some pictures pop up. Any of these images can either be used when you go to create your Jux product, or they can serve as inspiration for you to search for other photos within Jux. I'm going to go ahead and click on just one simple image and show you how we can save that image. And Booger Mountain sure does provide us with a wonderful image, if you want to call it that. Here's Booger Mountain. You can see I've clicked in panorama view. What we're going to do is with this image is simply just give us a right click, click save picture as. I'm going to type in booger. It's easy enough to remember. Click save. Now we have this picture stored. Now remember, this is very important, as these pictures are going to be offer up an excellent time for us to use copyright rules, but for the purpose of today, we're going to go ahead and save Booger Mountain, and then let's go over and just click on another image, which is Short Creek. Again, when that picture pops up, remember you can either going to click on View In, and it's going to give us this panoramic view. The good thing with these panorama views is it's going to give you location on the Google map, and it's going to give you additional pictures if any are available. Again, we're going to right click, save picture as, type in the name, click save. And remember, these are going to your hard drive if you're on a school computer and you want to save these on a flash drive, or if another either your Z drive, then you'll be able to do that as well. Okay, now that we have our images, we are going to move over into Jux and begin our story. Now here we are in Jux. Jux's website is simple. It's https colon /2 and jux.com, or you can just simply type in www.jux.com and it will bring it up for you. Here we have the home page. It's going to give you just examples of people's work. The good thing about Jux is you're not just limited to a slideshow. You can add photos, you can do videos, you can do article types similar to a newspaper, you can do block quotes. In order to sign in to Jux, simply click the sign in button, wait for it to load. Now here you have the join now option, or you can simply use your Facebook account. To sign in again or to join now, you simply give your email that you want to use and a password, click sign up, and you are automatically into Jux. It's very, very simple. I link mine to my Gmail account, that way I would not have any problems remembering passwords or anything of that nature. Click sign in. It would help if you typed in the correct password and email account. Sign in. Wait for it to load up. Now here we have the previous work that my student had done. It would not accept his email address. I let him work with mine. We have some work where my 3rd grade students, here are some examples of my 4th grade students, and then here are examples of a Jux created by my 21st century after school students. But in order to create your own Jux, you're simply going to go up here to this plus, click add new. It's going to bring you up the options of anything that you want to use. For purposes of today, let's go ahead and just click the slideshow. Wait for it to load. Once it loads, you're going to have these options. Here's your add a slide button. You're going to start out with one slide. In order to get additional slides, you simply click that. Click the photo button. This is where we're going to change our pictures. Here's the wonderful thing about Jux. You have the options of using Flickr, Facebook images, Instagram, or you can simply get if you have a picture with a URL code, simply type in the URL and it'll bring up that picture. Remember, where we're at school, a lot of times they have Facebook and Instagram blocked, but Flickr works very well. But today we're going to use the upload button. To do that, you're going to click upload, pick photos, and this is what I was showing you from Google Maps. Within Google Maps, and here's all the images that we have saved. Here happens to be Booger Mountain. I'm going to click open. It's going to upload this image. You click back and you're going to see that our image has changed. Here's the options. Here's your title. You can call it whatever you want. We're going to call this one Booger Mountain since that's what the name of the picture is. You give us a description. Looks like fall of the year, so we're going to say fall on Booger Mountain. Now here you have the options, as we saw in our student example, where you can create a large picture with a smaller box. Let me move this out of the way so we can see it. As you can tell, it changes the layout. And we can click Add Slide. I'll go ahead and show you this. And it's going to bring up the same options where you have the pick. Once you're done, you have the options of emailing this, embedding this into, say, WordPress, onto your classroom site, sharing it via Twitter or Facebook. Once you're finished, you simply click Done, and you're going to see that it's going to start compiling a list of all your Jux that's been created. Here it's taking me back to A Nation Divided, but here you can see all of our Jux, and here is the very first Jux that we have created. Booger Mountain has the title and our description. Okay, now that we have created our Jux and our Google Maps, I just wanted to give you a brief look at some of the many lesson plan options you have using Google Maps. As you can see, there's geography lessons, history lessons, science lessons. Becoming an active member using Google Maps is going to open up a world of lesson plans. This is just the tip of the iceberg. But now that we have created our Jux and our Google Map, I would like for us to go back and go into Google. Remember, click on Google, go to Google Maps. I'm going to click on My Places, create your own map, and I would like for us to create a map. And on that map, we need at least, we'll say 5 locations with a brief summary of each. Once we have done that and saved our map, let's move over to Jux. Into Jux, we're going to do the same thing. Let's use us 5 really good images. Let your imagination run wild on what you would like for the title to be and the summary. Remember, have fun, think like a student, and enjoy Google and Jux.